Welcome to The Redeemables, the podcast where we take movies that scored below 50 on the Metacritic and decide whether to redeem them or to nail them to the cross. My name's Kenny. Today I'm joined by BJ.
Hey.
Duff.
Hello.
And this is episode 2, and I've chosen The Butterfly Effect.
Remember when we were kids and I used to have those blackouts? Well, some of those memories have been coming back to me.
There are moments in life we choose to remember.
Do you think that we'll be together forever?
And some memories we can never forget.
All I know is that by reading these journals, I might be able to get Kaylee back.
I'd think twice about what you're doing. You could wake up a lot more messed up than you are now.
I haven't seen results like this before.
But what if you could go back in time?
You are completely relaxed. Think of it like a movie. You can pause, rewind, or slow down.
Could you save the one person that mattered the most?
So, Butterfly Effect. I got some facts right off the bat for you.
Facts straight away.
Yeah, well, kind of just normal shit. 2004 was when it came out, January 23rd. It was written and directed by Eric Bress and J. Mackay Gruber, like a duo.
All right.
Yeah.
Hans Gruber's brother
Not
from
Hans.
Die Hard 3?
No, no relation.
Evil villain?
I don't think so. Anyway, I didn't actually look that far into it. Could be. It stars Ashton Kutcher, Amy Smart, Eric Stoltz, William Lee Scott, Eldon Henson, Logan Lerman. We're getting into names here.
I tuned out after Ashton Kutcher.
We had Ashton Kutcher, Amy Smart, and just a few other people.
You got any extras you can name?
Melora Walters
There it
and podcast favourite Ethan Suplee.
Ooh, I love Ethan.
I just like Suplee.
So we'll get to Ethan Suplee a bit later. He is going to be a podcast favourite, though. Stats, I've got some. It cost a minuscule $13 million, which is probably the smallest ever budget for a time travel movie, I want to say.
They paid Ashton Kutcher $12 million of that.
I think so. Well, no, because he actually financed it. He's like the executive producer. Yeah, so without getting too far into it, he, after doing some research, he basically saw that this was a famous script that was bouncing around for years in Hollywood, and no one would actually finance it, but so many people had read it. And Ashton Kutcher went, I've got some fucking money from...
that 70s show.
that 70s
From
show.
Demi Moore.
Yeah, it might be from Demi Moore.
Demi and Bruce lend me $1,000.
And he said, yeah, I'll pay for that. And that's probably why he's the main guy in it as well. And we'll also get to that. So apparently $11 million of the $13 million budget was actually spent on removing Ashton Kutcher's arms and then reattaching them because they wanted it to be really authentic. This is real shit.
It wasn't money well spent.
It's real. I'm telling you. So, yeah, from that box office, it made a whopping $97 million, which compared to a film from
That's not a flop.
Not a flop at all.
Not a
it was
flop at all.
far from a flop. 13 mil into 97 mil. It's a pretty good return on investment.
ROI.
Yeah, is it ROI,
ROI.
return on investment?
Yeah.
So yeah, hugely popular with the fans. However, not so popular with the critics. Ready for this Metacritic score?
Let's do it.
You guys have watched it, obviously.
Yeah.
30.
30.
I got a 30.
30.
Yeah. What did Domino have?
36.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you've got a
wow.
worse
Yeah.
Metacritic score than that. However, it's a massive swing between the Metacritic score and then the user reviews.
Yep.
So if you go to the user review score, it was, I forget what it was 78 or something like that.
Wow.
And very rarely would you see a swing that large.
It's further proof that the public are idiots.
or,
Other than our listeners, of course.
or the critics are idiots. Yeah, time will tell. So the Wikipedia write-up on this is, Evan gets severe headaches that cause him to suffer blackouts. While unconscious, he is able to travel back in time and alter the past, but this causes drastic changes in his present life. That's it. I feel like they really brushed over that.
I love Wikipedia for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little dry.
Couldn't be less flowery if we try. Thanks, Wiki.
There's a few details they skipped over. Guy gets headaches.
Guy
goes back through time.
Sounds like he just needs a Panadol to calm down.
I think that's the other alternative ending. So the studio marketing tagline, which I know you love.
Oh, I love it.
Change one thing, change everything. Yeah,
Is that-
that's
is-
it.
That's
it.
not the one I was thinking of.
Oh, what do you got?
No, nothing. I was just thinking of something different.
to do with this movie?
Oh, no, it was about
Still
Domino
thinking
again.
about- You're still thinking about to me more.
Still angry about Demi and Brucey.
Yeah, right. So, just a one-liner that doesn't really say anything.
It doesn't. So change one thing, change everything. It's I guess
Isn't there
that
something
is
about
the
butterfly wings?
Yeah,
Change-
Japan and tidal waves and shit.
No, that is the actual chaos theory. So I think they display that at the start of the movie.
Yes,
And
they
right?
do.
Yeah. So that's what the butterfly effect itself is.
Why didn't the studio go with that? That's much better than...
Jurassic Park owns the rights to the chaos theory.
right.
Yeah, fun facts.
Also, weird thing to put on the front of a like a DVD cover as well, isn't it?
Oh, no, I've seen
yeah.
weirder things.
Yeah, this is true.
So I guess what I'll do now is get into some reviews. There is some good ones. Our boy Joe Morgenstern from the Wall Street Journal is back.
He's back.
He's back. So he scored this movie a 10.
Out of 100.
Out of
10
10.
out of 100.
Oh,
10 out of 100.
10.
And his quote was, "It's a very simple review. It's a terrible life and a terrible movie." I don't know whether he's referring to his own life.
I think he's talking about the Wall Street life.
No, he was just having a bad time.
Yeah.
He just wasn't going very well.
Is he referring
He's
to
just
Ashton Kutcher's life? Or?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, Joe, if you're going to this movie to be cheered up, that's your first issue.
Yeah, you should have known.
Yeah.
So it's a terrible life and a terrible movie. And that's it. That's all I had for review. I don't need to do any more, do I? Yeah.
Joe.
No, I will. I've got a couple more. Charles Taylor from Ceylon?
Salem, where the witches are.
No.
Okay.
He gave the score 20. It's like receiving a box of Valentine's chocolates in which someone has deliberately hidden ground glass. Flea.
And he gave it 20. That's all right.
I'm starting to
for
genuinely
glass now.
worry about the movie critics of America.
Yeah, they sound really sad.
Yeah, who sent some chocolates with glass in it?
ground
Well, I've
glass,
done it
yeah.
before.
Nathan Rabin from the AV Club, he gave it 20. I have some issues with AV Club.
What is AV Club?
I've followed AV Club for a long time.
Same.
And I don't think they've ever said anything positive about anything that's been released.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they hate everything.
They really do.
Yeah, they really do. So they gave it a 20. Nathan Rabin from there gave it a 20. He called it a bad movie lover's heaven and a good movie lover's hell. And I think that kind of sums up the AV Club.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
is
not
that he
gonna like
thinks he's a
anything.
good movie
Yeah,
lover.
that's the thing.
The
Yeah.
fact that he's so smug that he refers to himself as a good movie lover.
Get over yourself, Nathaniel.
exactly.
What was his name?
Nathan Rabin.
Nathan Rabin.
I'm happy to never do an AV Club one again.
No.
I got a real thing with them.
I'm really happy to shit on him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, next one is from Stephen Rea.
Hey,
he's back.
Stevie!
He's back from the Philadelphia
Big dog.
Inquirer.
Yep.
He gave it a 38, which is better than most critics.
Yep.
But his two-word review was profoundly knuckleheaded.
Actually, no. Well done, Steve.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Parts you
Profoundly.
agree with him?
Not profound.
The last one is Dennis Lim from The Voice. He gave it a 30.
Well, is it The Voice, like the TV show The Voice?
With like the seal on
Like,
it.
do you
I don't
turn your
think so.
chair around?
He definitely didn't for this
He
movie.
didn't turn his
but
chair
he
around?
left it facing away.
Okay.
So he
Classic
said,
films.
you have to, if not love, at least not mind, a movie in which the very act of Ashton Kutcher reading is enough of a cosmic trauma to rip a hole in the fabric of space-time.
It's so good. Also, just changing my band name to Cosmic Trauma now. Making
that's
a note.
pretty cool.
That's actually
It's a good
poetic.
band name. Yeah,
Poetic.
write that down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after that, we got our Metacritic. We got everything. What's your thoughts, Stuff?
My thoughts is I really, really liked it.
Okay. That's good. Yeah.
Crazy. It felt good.
What a twist.
This is how much I thought I wouldn't like it. I waited till 11:30 last night to watch it. And even then I watched it in bits and pieces. And then I'm just enthralled. It gets dark really quick.
yeah.
It's real dark.
It gets real dark.
It's not a romp.
Yeah. As much as I hate Ashton Kutcher, I think he did very well.
You said you weren't going to watch it because I had Ashton
Yeah, because I
Kutcher,
had Ashton Kutcher. Then I seen Suplee and went, oh, no worries, I'm in. that bloody spiky haircut, and he turns around and attacks the bullies.
He did.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Good scene.
$10 says he eats it off the floor.
Well, if I could figure out how the memories of a simple worm function,
Should help me to understand the complexities of the human brain.
Let me get this shot.
What the fuck, weirdo? Fuck this.
Well, guess that's your game.
For me, am I giving it a score now?
No, thank you. What about you, BJ? What do you got? Thoughts? Feelings?
I thought it was okay.
I
thought it was okay. This is where I struggle a little bit because we recently did Domino, where the actual way the movie was made, I struggled with a little bit, but the performances and all that sort of thing, I actually thought were good.
Yeah.
This
I
I
where
thought
this
was
is going.
better made movie in terms of the way it was put together. Like it's not a bad movie per se, but I have a few issues with it that I would like to bring up as the discussion goes on.
Yeah, sure. Okay, well, obviously I wanted you guys to watch this or rewatch it. You'd seen it before but not remembered it?
I reckon I watched it once in 2004 and probably again since.
Yep.
But it didn't make much of an impact. And in fact...
How does it not make much of an impact? It's pretty impactful.
I watched it when it first came out, and then I watched it last night.
Wow.
I think much like Ashton Kutcher's character, I repressed a lot of memories. And this was probably one of them, to be honest with you.
It's funny you say that because when I was watching it again, and I probably watched this like 10, 12 times from 2004 to maybe 2012. And then I haven't watched it since, but I knew I loved it.
I thought it was fun. It's not fun at all.
It's not fun at all. It's not fun. And what I did realize is I also think I repressed a lot of the movie, a lot of the traumatic shit. Like basically whenever he had a blackout, I was like, wait, what's happening here?
Oh, yeah.
What's in that bag?
Yeah.
What are they about to lock? Oh, man. Yeah, so a lot of that all came flooding back. And as soon as I saw the characters, shit, I remember all this. And it is, it's like pressing a bruise, man. Yeah. Going back and watching that movie.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah. I mean, the first, I think it was like 25 to 30 minutes. I was like, I thought I would remember this. I deliberately hadn't.
Yeah. Your mind blocked it out?
Yeah, maybe that's what happened.
Well, here, start reading my notes and you might flash back to watching the movie.
The room goes wobbly.
But I'm still a huge fan of the movie. It's just so, I don't think entertaining is the right word. Like
it wasn't
really
affecting.
Hard. It is really affecting. Yeah.
I had a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
Mostly sad ones.
Yeah.
Probably a difficult movie to put you guys through, I think. And if I clearly remembered it, I might not have chosen it for the second movie.
I did wonder.
Yeah, but I'm glad I did.
Glad because I get to rewatch it again. Something I don't remember. Probably hated it when it first came out. Hate Ashton Kutcher. But I actually
do you want to talk about that?
I do.
Hate Ashton Kutcher.
What's he doing?
What, he's done one good thing. Punked.
I was going to say
he's done Punked. He was good at jumping out at celebrities and pretending to be their friends.
I found him incredibly annoying on Punked.
Well,
but I've got some respect for the man, which I never thought I would say early in his career, especially dopey stoner guy on
Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah, Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah, terrible film.
Oh, that's a classic for the time.
It's okay.
I wouldn't watch it now. I think it'd be fucking dreadful.
Well, sorry.
Spoiler next week. I just think he's someone that we watch grow up, and in more ways than one.
Well, I didn't really watch that 70s show. I mean, it was on because it was on every night on every channel. I felt like, but I didn't. And then they did the if you had Foxtel, they'd do that 70s show like weekends. Where it was just on for the whole, like a Simpsons
like
marathon. Yeah. But it was that 70s show marathon. So you saw it.
I don't love it that much.
I just saw it, but I never watched it in order. I couldn't tell you the characters' names.
I like Mila Kunis.
Yeah.
He's married to her now, eh?
Oh, yeah.
That is messed up.
That is on the list
I hate
of
Ashton
reasons
Kutcher even more.
It's on the list of reasons I respect the man. Honestly. Like,
Demi Moore.
Yeah.
And Bruce Willis.
Yeah. I don't know that Bruce was that actively involved in
he
the
was.
marriage.
He was.
That's weird.
He would handshake during the sexual intercourse. You're doing a good job, Ashton. You're doing a good job.
Just to start, I mean, the guy as an investor, obviously for a start, butterfly effect, bloody good investment on Ashton Kutcher's part. In terms of return on investment, I don't have the percentages in front of me, but what we say, 13 million to what?
13 to 96 or 97 mil it was.
You take that.
Yeah.
You take that.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy got it on the ground level of Skype, Uber,
Twitter?
I didn't know he was like an investor.
He's a
guy
venture
as well.
capitalist.
Is
that
the correct way of saying
that's
an
what,
investor guy?
That's what Viggo Mortensen from the what's his name?
Viggo Mortensen
from the Wall Street.
Oh, the Wall Street Journal. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Viggo Mortensen. Is that what you said? You said something very close.
I was talking about the king from Lord of the Rings. Ben, what does the king from Lord of the Rings have to do with Ashton Kutcher?
But I was so confused.
I'm just going to butcher people's names. That's going to be my shtick. It's my bit, everyone. Enjoy. No, like, he's worth over $200 million.
No, he's not.
Yeah. So he got in on startups, including Skype, Uber, and Airbnb at the ground level.
Okay.
The guy's got an eye for where to put your money.
And he's only worth $200 million.
$200 million. Yeah.
Thought it'd be a bit
Well,
more.
Mila Kunis cost a lot to maintain.
Yeah. When you say he got in at the start of those companies and now he's only worth $200 million, I'm thinking he just threw him $1,000.
Yeah.
Sling
Still,
which is now $1 million.
Pretty good investment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of that, I think you've got to respect that, right? Like, well done.
Oh, he's obviously a smart guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I
Is he
think
plays
he did
these schmucks, but he's a very intelligent man.
Yeah, I think he did a good job in this movie.
Did an okay job.
Yeah.
But there was one line that did my head in.
Go on.
What, you think you know me? I don't even know who I am.
I don't even remember that.
It wasn't in the movie. I made it up. But that's how bad it was.
What?
I don't remember when that was in the movie.
happening?
It's when Supri goes up to him and goes, well, you need to think this through, because he's about to read the Jared Leto notes.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Yeah, but he might have just been. Look,
No, it
we've
was
all been through
terrible.
periods like that.
It was terrible acting, and Amy Smart was terrible when she was sad.
Yeah.
Great when she was happy.
Yeah, I've got Amy Smart thoughts as well.
Oh, I've
yeah.
got some Amy Smart thoughts. But I want to stay on Ashton for a minute.
Yeah, same.
I was trying to think of if there was anyone that could have done it at the same time.
Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, he's one. Like, he was about the right age and everything as well. That's a different.
Have we had proof of life from Josh Arnett in the last 7 to 8 years? Is he?
Yes,
all right?
he's
Is he
back.
all right?
Yes,
Oh,
he's back.
He's okay.
back.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
good.
watched one last weekend. Ida Red. He had a couple come out on Stan, I think. He's doing straight to streaming stuff, but it's decent.
Okay, since I blocked him, like, to stop him texting me, I haven't heard.
Don't forget about Josh Hartnett. He's
Okay,
coming
so he's
back.
coming
back. Yeah, I like Josh
I
Hartnett.
think he disappeared for maybe
did.
7 or 8 years, and I thought he was actually just done.
Yeah.
By his own choice.
Yeah, he left.
Yeah.
He retired, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he doesn't just stop getting work.
Right.
He was
It's
in
Josh
some big
Hartnett.
films.
He was
man.
offered Superman. He said no. I believe. No, it's 100% true.
It's a
Really?
good choice to say no to that.
Yeah, look it up. Yeah.
Okay.
So he could have probably done this, but does Josh Hartnett as believable as the douchebag frat boy guy? Can he pull that off as well as Ashton Kutcher?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Josh Hartnett? Okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's just a little bit more alternative. He's a
I'm
little
just
bit
so
darker.
confident. I could go. I reckon if you searched it, I reckon he got offered the role, because I feel this is. I feel this is a Josh Hartnett like piece. It should have been a Josh Hartnett movie.
Yeah, for
Fuck
sure.
Ashton Kutcher, sorry.
Ashton Kutcher paid for it, man.
Yeah, I was going to say.
No, Demi Moore and Bruce Willis.
Ashton Kutcher's probably already pissed off about Josh Hartnett being in all the movies that Ashton Kutcher wanted to be in.
Yeah.
So I doubt he's about to put him in his own movie that he's paying
So
for.
it's just like, I'll step back so Josh can have that. It's your time to shine, Josh. Get in there.
We both have ridiculous space in our beards.
Yeah, and
Have you noticed that? It's like
They got the little
ridiculous
bit,
space.
yeah.
Yeah.
patchy beards is the thing. Like, some of us suffer.
He had a great goatee as the frat boy.
Oh,
Great
man.
goatee.
Yeah.
Oh.
I loved it how he even looked in the mirror and saw his own goatee, and he's like,
Threw
"Whoa."
up in his mouth a little bit.
He's like, "Whoa." And that was like, what was that? 2002, I think that was. Yeah.
So-
like when that was set.
2004, who else would be in their prime in 2004? So he's got to be, like, what is he, early 20s for the most part?
Yeah, well, he plays. He's 21 in the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it goes, he's 13 and skips 8 years, I think,
Yeah, that's-
when he's in college.
Yeah, I didn't do the math, but thank you.
He's 2021, say. So you got to be 25, under 30 to play that role.
I don't even know how old people were back then.
No, I'm drawing a blank for the most part.
There was a couple of others, which there
Hanks.
was
Wesley Snipes, ladies and gentlemen.
there was
He was in prison.
Sean William Scott was
Oh,
offered.
yeah.
Sean William Scott was genuinely offered the part. Josh Hartnett, funnily enough, was genuinely offered the part.
There you go.
Hey!
And
You've peaked.
none other
from the
than
rafters, baby.
none other than Pacey from Dawson's Creek, Joshua Jackson. Yeah.
Jackson.
Mighty Ducks man himself.
Joshua Jackson, I can see just doing it basically how Ashton Kutcher did it, like trying not to be smug and trying not to smirk the entire movie.
I think Ashton Kutcher is actually better than Joshua Jackson.
Right.
I'm not a big Josh guy, apart from the Mighty Ducks.
Joshua Jackson would have been unbelievable wearing the flannel and having the long hair. Like that ain't Joshua Jackson. Yeah.
Sean William Scott would have been interesting. The Stiffmeister.
Sean William Scott 10 years later, when he started doing those sort of indie movies, and he was like an interesting person. But Sean William Scott then was like he was
American
American
Pie.
Pie, Sean William Scott.
Yeah.
So he was just funny guy, and he was kind of douchey dude.
Yeah, he's so typecast.
But that's what
Yeah, it
Ashton Kutcher is.
Yeah, I suppose.
Exactly.
Ashton
Yeah,
Kutcher, I feel
yeah.
like has got depth though, doesn't he?
Well, that's the
Ashton
thing.
Kutcher depth.
Was this Ashton Kutcher paying to get himself in a movie so he had some depth? Because he was absolutely the stoner
Typecast.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, Sean William Scott was in Dude, Where's My Car? Classic Duff throwback.
That's
like
piece that
Duff
together.
messing
Yeah,
around.
right.
Yeah, so he was.
So they have been seen in the same room at the same time.
Yeah, I'm going to head
Okay.
off. I've got 2 facts right tonight, and
Just sit there quietly for the
you
rest
know
of the
me. I'm out.
The other
He has closed his nose.
he's done. The other thought I had on the movie was you can't look too far into the time travel shit.
Yeah.
It's not a movie of physics.
Yeah.
You know how you get there's almost 2 different types of time travel movies. There's the ones where they go hard into the physics of it.
Yeah, yeah.
The most recent example is probably Tenet.
Yes.
Or Interstellar to a degree.
Yep.
And then there's time travel movies where they're like, they go into a hot tub and then they can skip.
Yeah. Hot tub time
Yeah,
machine.
exactly.
Okay, well, there goes
Looks
my... I
like
was gonna
some
mention that
sort
later on.
of hot tub time machine.
Yeah, so like we're the thing though, like when they do delve into time travel and they want to they're talking about the paradox of time travel and that sort of thing. This is all about the paradox of time travel,
Yes.
right?
Go on.
Well, like the whole, what is it? You change one thing, you change everything.
Oh, sure.
Right.
But this does the worst example of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
but when-
Because you change one thing, you just change one other thing.
Yeah,
But you don't change everything.
But the one that Fred, when he was in jail and he had to prove Sigmata,
Yes.
he put his hands through those things.
Yep.
Nothing changed apart from he had scars on his hands.
That's what I'm talking about. So it's not change one thing, change everything. It's change one thing, change one minor detail.
Yes. Yes. So that actually brings me to one of my issues with the movie. So like, whilst
No, this is what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
Before I want you to go into this, but this is what I'm saying.
yeah,
Don't go too deep into the time travel.
Oh,
It'll
man.
ruin the movie for
The
you.
movie,
look,
as it is.
but-
this is my
please,
issue with it
please.
because like
I'm sure we all agree.
if it was just going to be lighter entertainment, then maybe it shouldn't have been so dark, right?
It was dark.
It was like it was dark and no real depth, which is not a great combination.
Yeah.
It was also very
It could have just been like he broke up with his girlfriend and he wanted to get her back.
yeah.
And then they could have just done the time travel a bit lighter.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
out 40
yeah,
days
yeah,
without
yeah.
sex or whatever. But
Yeah.
like they made it so
Josh Hartnett.
Josh Hartnett. Congrats.
I found it like I love the concept to a degree.
Yep.
But then it was so personal. Right, so and I know it had to be. I don't know how they could have made it more macro.
Yeah.
like the effect of his actions were having a larger effect on.
Yeah, impossible to portray.
I see what you mean.
Hard-
And it becomes a way different movie.
Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
just so narrow in its focus in that
It's all
regard.
him.
Yeah, it's all
and
him.
2 of his friends.
Yeah, and as you say, one thing. So he knows he can go back and change one thing in his past, and it's almost like that one thing down that timeline is changed.
Yeah. Everything else kind of plays out
Yeah.
the same,
Yep.
but just that one thing
Yeah.
doesn't happen or whatever, or does happen
Yeah.
if it's the stigmata. Yeah.
Yeah, so it would have been cooler in my opinion. Like that Stigmata is a fantastic example, right? So like he needed to change that one thing in that one instance, and he.
But that would cause more of a scene for his mum, like the
Yeah.
picture.
And then she,
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
she- oh no,
course.
he also stabbed
This
himself.
is
heaps
what
in
I'm
the
saying.
hand.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. We could do a 4 hours about all the issues with that,
Yeah,
but then it just has to be that simple.
yeah.
Because the movie isn't really about the time travel.
No,
Is it? I don't think it is.
no, it's not. You're
No,
right.
no, no.
You're
I think
right.
it's a massive
It's-
part of it, to be honest.
Oh, I think it's
It's
more
the
about
vehicle. It's the vehicle.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a cool concept that
If this didn't happen to you, if this trauma didn't happen to you,
yeah,
how does your life play out?
yeah.
That's kind of the premise of the movie.
Yeah.
So the premise of the movie isn't how cool would it be if we could travel through time by reading a notebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's how much would you exploit Stigmata if you had it? Like I'd be down to church every Sunday going, yo, pass the collection plate. Oh, shit. I'll be in hell. I'll see you in hell.
yeah, I'll say
So-
that.
But I agree, yeah.
Yeah,
You have to suspend disbelief quite a lot to actually enjoy it.
Yes.
But
all
then
the way.
some of it
Yep.
is so gritty and realistic.
Too
And I'm
gritty.
like, yeah, it's that there's like a disconnect there for me a little bit.
Oh, because there's no physics or anything complexity with
Yeah.
the actual time travel, but then there's the most complex societal issues.
Yeah,
you
just
can-
like there's just like trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma, and I'm like, this is a heavy movie, but it's like heavy with no depth.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yep.
That was the crux of my issue with the whole thing. Once I got over that on a second rewatch, and once I was more prepared for what was coming, because I had repressed the memories from 2004, I was like, wow.
I was not ready.
I think what you've just said is exactly why the critics hated it.
Yes.
Like calling it profoundly knuckleheaded.
Yeah.
Like,
I never thought I'd agree with the AV Club, but here we are.
Here we are.
We're not going to agree on the music side of things, AV Club. I've got some history there, but never mind.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't know. That's kind of the time travel thing. As I said, move on from it and then watch the film without it, and it is a different experience.
Yes,
fair enough. It does. The thing in favor of the time travel stuff is it all kind of works, as in the time sequencing works because it is simple.
Yeah.
So it's not like one of those time travel movies like Tenet, where I'm watching it going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why is he gone? Is he going backwards to go forwards? Is he? What time period are we at now? Is he looking at his own son, but he's not born yet? It's none of that shit. Yeah. It's just like, oh no, I'm just going back 10 years.
Yeah. He's just going to spike his hands on something.
I'm going to change a few things and come back.
And then I'm going to come forward and I'm going to hope Amy Smart's okay.
And then I'm wearing... that's pretty much what it is. I'm wearing different clothes. And my friend's no longer depressed, so I'm having a good day.
Yeah, so in that side of things, like it's an enjoyable. It's enjoyable to watch that time travel be so light. Be so
I mean, look, if I want that, I'm going to watch Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap.
That is
Scott Bolker Quantum Leap. You can't bring a Scott Bolker
TV show or something.
Quantum Leap into a podcast.
Can we edit that out?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
100%. You can't bring Scott Bolker into a podcast.
So you're going to do the Amy. Talk to me about Amy Smart.
Didn't like her.
Whoa.
Yeah, she came on. I was like, I remember her. She's good. And then I was like, wow.
Like, I thought she was the best in the movie in terms of performance.
No, I disagree.
Okay. Ethan's super.
I thought her transformation each time.
From changing her hair color, Ken?
No,
the junkie.
She's sad.
I felt it.
Now she's happy and blonde.
But didn't she play that well when she's the junkie prostitute?
It was the only bit that I believe it was also the only Amy Smart part that I liked. I was like, I would hang out with this.
She was playing herself.
Yeah. This what was her name? Candy?
So Kaylee.
Yeah. Okay, when the whole movie
it was probably Candy. it was Candy.
I just assumed it was Candy.
It was definitely Candy then.
It was her stage name, if you know what I mean. It was at that point I was like, this sassy, straight talking junkie prostitute is the only one of these iterations of this woman that I would actually enjoy hanging out with. the heroine, not so much. That's not the fun side, but she was just like, you know what, Ashton, I'm just going to tell you how it is, bro. Yeah. And she just sat him down and she just like, I'm not eating your pie, I'm not buying your crap. And she just told him straight up, and I was like,
okay. That was a turning point for him as well, as in. You seem like that would have been the time to travel back immediately and try and fix it. Yeah. He kind of didn't for a little bit.
He was just like, I'm going to buy some pie and see if I can fix this heroin addiction.
Teach her not to eat my goddamn pie.
We're just going to hang out at the diner.
Enjoy being a junkie.
Yeah. That's where you, get up yourself, mate.
So I also wanted to shout out the frat boy guy, like his best friend frat boy guy that sits next to him in the exam and slips him the cheats. Yeah. Great frat boy.
Yeah.
He wasn't in it much, I don't
think. No, he wasn't at all, but he was a great frat boy.
For the 2 minutes he was in it, pretty good.
He reminded me of Bradley Cooper's character from Wedding Crashers. Like that.
A massive douche.
Yeah. And I think
but very loyal to his friends.
Throws the cup in the kid's face as he walks.
Also, I've never been to an American college, but I'm not rich. But
are frats real?
Yeah, I think they are.
Okay.
But can you just pass the answers to someone so openly in an exam? Like, if I did that in my TEE,
2004, maybe.
Pretty sure they'd be like, nah, mate.
They don't get a lot of desk space either.
It freaks me out. It's like Men in Black when he's trying to write on that bloody table. Because I noticed that immediately. He's like, here's a A4 sheet of paper on a fucking A2.
Yeah. It's like my parents have been saving for 30 years to send me to this shitty college, and I don't even have
me
a
on
desk.
a fucking woodbox.
I'm glad other people noticed that.
Yeah.
It bothered me. Yeah.
Plastic seats and tiny wood.
Some room to work with here.
Desk
budget. He couldn't even fit his cheat sheet on the desk. Tiny palm
That's how big that's how big the piece of wood was. The size of his cheat sheet.
Yeah. Go back in time and invent a better desk.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, the douchebag guy, very, very unlikable.
Oh, it's perfect.
He's supposed to be
meant
unlikable.
to be, yeah.
You're not supposed to go, I wish he was in it more.
So presumably as well, there's a demographic of people that watch these movies and like that and go, what a legend.
It's funny, man.
Naughty lad.
Yeah, it's funny because I watch
Ken.
movies that I loved it. No, any movie that's got a fraternity in it, they're never painted in a good light.
No.
Not once, ever.
No.
Yet people are still joining frat
Yeah, they're
clubs.
like, I want to be part of Zeta Kappa Kappa.
Yeah. It's really weird.
Seen Kappa
Are
Kappa.
they watching these movies?
Yeah, they must be. They think it's an advert for being,
Oh, we're not like that, bro.
Yeah,
We're different to them, bro.
Get over here so I give you a wedgie.
Where are you at with time travel movies? In terms of where does this...
I'm all about them. I've got two favorites.
Go on.
You're going to hate me. But Avengers Endgame handled it brilliantly.
I didn't even think of that.
Ah, me neither.
Well, I did, because I love Marvel.
Yeah.
And my other one, of course, is Back to the Future.
Yes.
Back to the Future that is a fun lover. There's no darkness in that shit.
Controversially, I'm not huge on Back to the Future.
That's fair. That's fair.
yeah.
I can see it.
I just...
That's why you have no soul, friend.
They're very dated.
Is it the bit where he's turned on by his mum?
No,
Yeah,
I remember...
the bit where it's fun.
I remember...
I hated all the fun
It
bits.
needed more trauma. It needed more dogs in bags. No, they were fine when I was a child watching them, but you try and watch it now and it's a tough watch.
I have watched it
It's
recently.
the tone with which he said
Yeah.
they were fine when I was a child.
Now that I'm a grown man wearing top hats and watching film.
I feel so judged. I enjoyed it.
You'd still watch them now? The Back to the Future movies?
Look, I've got limited spare time, so probably not.
Yeah,
I'm looking
okay.
for a PG movie for my kid, and Back to the Future.
Well, yeah, for sure. Because they're kids.
She hadn't watched it, so I watched it by myself.
And
I
just
watched it
explained it to her later on.
And then I said, Back to the Future, give it a watch.
And the whole time she sat in the background going, can we watch something else, Daddy?
Yeah, let's put Butterfly Effect on. Do you love film?
Not a kids movie, Butterfly Effect?
No, not a kids movie.
Yeah, so I don't...
It's got kids in it. So does it.
This doesn't rank real high for me in terms of time travel movies because I don't... It is
simple,
a time travel
simple.
movie, but as said before, I don't call it a time travel movie.
Yeah.
So in terms of time travel movies, it's probably isn't
It's
even
more an
top 10.
effect movie, like some sort of butterfly effect. But you know what I mean? Like effects of, not time travel causes.
Not the
effects
science.
Of,
Yeah.
So you know,
Effects of.
this sort of micro look at the way that things are affected, you know that Groundhog Day is the gold standard
True.
for a dude who's just trying to get things right with a chick.
Yeah.
And going back and changing things in the past to make things better in the future.
To get things better.
So once you've seen that, you're
But
like,
is that time travel? That's just reliving the same day over and over again.
that's a technicality.
It is, though.
Ooh, can we get a ruling?
It's the same day over and over again. It's like Happy Death Day. It's the same thing. She knows when she's going to die.
Yeah, I would still call it time travel. Like
I would call it-
tomorrow.
If you're aware that you're in a different timeline,
what was that one with? Came out on Amazon. Palm
Okay.
Springs. Palm Springs.
Oh,
You watch
Palm Springs is brilliant.
Yeah, same
loved
sort
it,
of thing.
Loved it.
Yeah, it's
I only
Groundhog
recently
Day.
I had to sign up to Amazon to get this movie.
Yeah.
So I've got a bit of a back catalogue.
Yeah,
to
go
work through.
Palm Springs.
What?
Palm Springs.
What's
Writing
Palm
it-
Springs?
writing it down.
Top
writing
10
it
for last year.
Andy Samberg, very good.
That's who I was
down.
trying to
You got
think
me.
of.
You got me. Is he on a boat?
No.
No.
He's in Florida, so he's going to close to boats.
Palm
No,
Springs, Florida?
Is Florida? No, Palm Springs is.
It's in
I
California.
thought he was in the
Yeah.
desert.
Edge of Tomorrow was another one. In that
Edge
same
Tomorrow
bracket.
is a film.
Yeah, so they're a different kind of time travel movie, I think.
Yeah.
It's more just repeating the same
Yeah.
sequence
I think
over and
it's
over again. But
repeat.
yes, they are aware they're in a different timeline.
That's my take on
Live,
it.
die, repeat. Great tagline.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Maybe that's what this should have been.
No, this should have been
Die,
called The Effect
Live.
of Butterfly Effect.
Live, go back in time, fuck it up, repeat. That's the new tagline.
Make your friends a little bit more happy.
Yeah. So that I would say if you're aware that if you're aware that you're in a different timeline, that is my call.
Okay.
In terms of pure time travel,
It is not.
12 Monkeys.
Yeah, I like that.
12 Monkeys, okay.
I like
I
that a
haven't,
lot.
Yeah,
I haven't
That's
seen that in
pure
a long
travel.
time.
Have a look at the TV show's not bad either. It's not bad.
It's a movie podcast.
You like the
Can't move on.
concept.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not. Should I write it down?
Yeah.
Go
Well,
on.
you writ Quantum
It
Leap
seems-
down. You
it
may as well
seems
write
like-
12 Monkeys.
Seems like a commitment. I didn't watch 12 Monkeys when it first came out. Like I was like, no, I'm not interested because I was a bit anti Brad Pitt.
Oh, Dirty Brad.
How can you be anti-Brad Pitt?
Who's
I
anti-Brad
was
Pitt?
young. I had. I was anti him when he first. I was like, I don't know.
I didn't like him because he looked dirty in it, but I'd still watch it. For
I'm a
Brad.
bit ashamed to admit it now. I really am because it was irrational. It was probably some
Pretty
jealousy.
incredible career.
I was just like, he's just too good looking.
Yeah, I get that.
Right.
The whole jealousy thing.
But gee, he released banger after banger, and I was like, I have to get on the pit wagon.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So you do like 12 Monkeys?
Yeah, great movie.
Yeah,
Great movie. And he's good in it.
Yeah.
Like, he's good in
Real
it.
grungy.
Yeah. And I love a bit of apocalyptic going on, you know, like I love like the whole, you know, watch out, we're all doomed type of thing. I love that. Love it. So yeah, I would go with 12 Monkeys. I was going to shout out Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yep.
That's a fun movie, Ken.
That's a real fun movie.
Like, have you considered that is a fun movie?
It's probably higher than 50 on the Metacritic.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Actually,
Number 2 wouldn't be terrible.
Yeah, number 2. Oh, well, yeah, that's a bit
Hot
disappointing.
Tub Time Machine's great. I
Yeah,
love it.
it's so good.
Fantastic movie. Good performances. Thanks for coming.
I had Time Cop as well with Van Damme.
Van Damme, Time Cop.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I have to go back in time. Oh, it's Terminator time travel?
It
It's on
is,
my list.
Yeah, Terminator, just the whole franchise.
Oh.
You can just kind of put them all as
Yeah.
one film.
Yeah. And they handled it. The other thing, they're an example of when you first watch it, the first one, and when they're first coming out, if you don't analyse the actual time travel aspect too much, you can enjoy it. But then they start to self-analyse too much, and they're trying to explain all these sort of goings on, and it gets a little confused after about 4 movies where they're oh, we've written a script and now we need to make it work in a past timeline.
The newer ones also delve a lot deeper into the time travel side.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The older ones,
it just gets confusing after a little while.
Is what I was talking about before. It's he's standing in front of his son but he's not born yet, and then you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically the last couple of Terminators.
Yeah. Am I John Connor? Am I John Connor's dad? What is happening?
Or am I Sergeant in John Connor's army?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
What about Donnie Darko? You consider that a time travel?
Yeah, I would.
I don't.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Yeah. Really? Okay.
As in you don't like it, or it's not time travel?
I love Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
I don't think it's time travel.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
I think he
I
just.
think they actually.
I think he
they
goes
read
back.
a book in it about time travel.
He goes back
And
once.
then he starts.
Oh, so
traveling
there's a
through
limit as how many times you go back.
You can only go back twice is time travel. Going back once, just went back a bit.
Donnie Darko is actually a really good one to bring up because it's similar to Butterfly Effect.
Yeah.
The Butterfly Effect is almost just Donnie Darko done 8 times
Much
over
worse.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Whereas Donnie Darko is just the one time, but it's heavy stakes, high stakes.
High stakes, very high stakes.
Yeah.
Very similar ending, actually. Don't want to ruin it for people.
Too late.
Speaking of endings, alternate endings, man, for this movie.
Yes.
There's 4 of them.
Can I just talk about the one more on the cast? The
Yeah.
kids in this movie are incredible.
Oh, man.
That little schizo kid, he
very good.
freaks me out. When he hits that kid with the pole
Yeah.
and goes to town on him.
Oh,
and
yeah.
smiles at
You know
him.
why, though? Because they had this is the other thing. Like, you talk about, like, divergent paths and whatnot and, like, the whole sliding doors and changing your path. Do you reckon if they had have just chosen Dumb and Dumber instead of 7 at the cinema,
They would have had a
wouldn't
good
have hit
time.
someone with a pole?
What the fuck are you doing?
Buying popcorn, what the fuck are you doing? Whoops.
I can't believe you freaking did that. Why do you play such a dick? I can't do that. Stop it! Stop hitting him! What's wrong with you? Somebody please help!
That's it, kid. You're out of here.
They had the choice, man.
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber or 7. Those kids chose 7. Which
What would you choose, though?
Dumb and Dumber. At that age? Dumber.
I'm watching 7. Just
Really?
to see what's in
That
the
kind of
box. They
explains
don't
it.
How
actually
old
tell
are
you
they?
what's in the box.
What are they, 12 there?
Yeah,
13?
12.
13, I think.
Yeah, 13.
You're telling me you wouldn't. I just think they would have been. Their lives could have been very different. Forget the time travel.
It's just
Lives
it
could
was
have been
that
very different if they just watched
Ashton
Dumb and
Kutcher should have gone back
And just made
dragged
them-
them into Dumb and Dumber.
100%.
Guys,
That's
watch this
exactly what I'm
movie.
saying.
Fixes everything.
Yeah, honestly.
Heals the childhood trauma.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, no, I agree. I think the kids were good. I think young Ashton was all bangs and teeth.
Oh, I just thought young Ashton, I felt like he has gone back in time, and these kids were Ashton Kutcher as he got older. They were spot on for Ashton.
Really, they
Great
did well.
casting.
And even
Great casting.
the boy that plays Lenny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As Lenny
the
gets
Mighty
older.
Ducks
He
man
was best,
himself.
yeah.
Bring it
He was
back.
great. I
Yeah,
mean,
he
he
was
didn't
great.
do much. He just kind of stared
Sat
straight.
there shaking.
And
He
then
made a
every now
lot
and
of
then
model planes, Ken. I respect him for that.
Look, Lenny, he had a bad time in this movie.
Real bad time.
Oh, man, poor Lenny.
I just don't think he can handle drama.
Actually, they kind of all did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lenny's worse than anyone else's?
No, I reckon it was.
Yeah.
I definitely.
Yeah.
Lenny was probably the worst.
Yeah, Lenny had
I suppose.
he wasn't enjoying things.
Now's probably not a time to compare childhood traumas one versus the other. But.
No, they all. This is the thing. The first 20 minutes, I was like, oh, they're probably pretty messed up by now. What?
Yeah.
What? Another thing.
Seems like a nice little town. That's
yeah. There's some goings on.
someone get a parent to watch these children.
That if I was to pick a hole in it, which I don't want to, but if I was going to pick a hole, I would say that when they blow up the letterbox, and then no one in the town knows it's them.
Yeah.
So a letterbox is just blown up, and there's one ambulance going there.
Yep.
And then the other ambulance is going 600 meters down the road to a group of teens where one child's frozen still in fear
He's
and won't
catatonic.
respond. He's catatonic and won't respond.
Yeah.
Did the cops not go, wait a minute? What if those... Nah. Couldn't have been.
I reckon
they're good boys.
They're good boys.
They're good boys. Couldn't have been.
Maybe they were in the woods.
Someone at the cinema.
That was actually all the time travel shit, everything else aside. That's the one thing I hate about this movie. And it came back to me as I was rewatching. I was like, fuck, I remember hating this. How did they not know it was them? And then we're moving town. Oh, the cops won't look for you. This isn't 1947.
She's like, watches a news story and she's like,
Yeah.
oh, my son has killed a baby and a woman.
It looks like we're on the run.
We're moving.
Hey, guys, you haven't left a forwarding address with the neighbours?
Just a sea change. Mummy feels like leaving town.
Yeah, fair call. Yeah, not great police work.
Yeah.
No. None. There's none at all. There's just ambulance.
Also, I would be asking the kid that's renowned for beating people at the cinema with a metal pole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd just check in on him.
Maybe have a bit of a look
and say, hey, there was a bit of an incident. Do you know anything? You know, also, we know you're not being raised very well. Yeah, fair point. I think the younger kids, they did all right. I wonder how much when they're casting younger versions of the people in the movie, like what is the compromise between? He's like, oh, he's not a great actor, but geez, he looks a lot like him when he's
terrible actor, but we need someone to look like Ashton Kutcher.
You quite often see that.
Yeah.
Like, wow, they nailed how much of the resemblance there. But fuck,
it's awful. She's not great.
Yeah. Whereas this, I think they got a great mix.
It
of
wasn't
both.
bad. It wasn't bad. Yeah. I mean, young Aston just had to stare a lot.
Yeah. What happened, mommy?
But he did. Yeah, he physically resembled him really well.
Yeah.
Was it just the hair though?
It was the bangs.
Yeah,
it was definitely just the hair.
Yeah, but he had the same build. Like he was kind of tall, but like,
lanky. And 13. He was a big 13-year-old.
Where did they find a lanky kid? Like,
True.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I mean, the bully brother, he was dialed up the whole movie, but he was pretty good. Like I was scared of him. If I lived in the same town as him,
man, he is scary as shit.
Yeah, what's he out of? He's done something.
Logan Lerman.
Yeah.
Percy Jackson friend.
Oh, really?
That's
why I've
believe
never heard of him.
Logan Lerman.
Wait, are we talking the boy here?
The boy.
Oh, sorry, I was talking about the older version of the boy.
Oh, he's not great.
So that's Logan Lerman. Who
Logan
I called out at
Lerman.
the start. I had no idea what his name
Logan
was.
Lerman.
I haven't watched Percy Jackson. No.
Well, you should because it's you're really good.
He's a lightning thief.
I just want Ken to watch a shitty movie.
Because payback's a bitch, Ken.
So yeah, as I was saying before, the endings, we need to discuss this because there's 4 different endings to this film. And I realised that when I watched it last night, I watched the director's cut. But when I watched it 2 weeks ago, I watched the normal version. And the director's cut is a lot darker.
Yeah,
not available on Amazon Prime.
He just went, you know what? The whole movie's been pretty dark. Let's really fucking dark the ending.
Yeah.
And boy, does he.
Yeah, but that's why I think it was... all right, I'm saying that the alternative ending, the director's cut ending, is the best ending because it just suits the whole film. So the director's cut ending is basically where he starts watching the film projector in the office at the psych ward, and then he goes back into the womb. In utero. And he hangs himself with his own umbilical cord before he can even be born. And yeah, hey, when I say that's my favourite ending...
it's not the best.
That's some dark shit. But I think my favourite ending is it just suits the whole film.
Yeah.
It's weird to me, the other endings, which the other 3 are kind of the same, but the other endings are kind of happy, mushy endings. It's like, this isn't
that's American cinema, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's probably...
But the actual cinema release is that the guy that told me to fucking leave town or he'll cut me or whatever?
Yeah.
Kill my family? It might have been. And then they keep walking away.
Wonder
from
if
each
he's
other.
single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that hair.
Oh, I don't think she recognised him.
I think they do because they stopped. She turned around.
I think it's more of like a "Do I know you," rather than "I remember you at the child's birthday party. You told me you were going to kill my family." I think it was more just.
He probably whispered that as he walked.
If he had the same haircut, 100%.
Yeah, I
recognise those bangs.
Yeah.
The bangs bothered you, didn't they?
I just look. I'm a bald man. I've upset my hair.
That's what it is.
I didn't like the open-ended one where she walks away and then he follows it.
I thought that was the
and then it
best.
just fades to black. Really?
I like a bit of. I like the ambiguous ending.
So what I mean by sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying there's absolutely no ambiguity about the umbilical cord ending. It's pow. Yeah, thank you.
And
That's what I'm looking for.
It made me really sad. I was sick of feeling sad at this point. I needed that mushiness at the end.
In fact, straight after this, I think we should have an intervention for Ken. I'm a little bit worried about Ken.
My mental state.
Guys, this is a fun movie.
It's a butterfly tattoo on his neck that freaks me.
That's for the band, not the movie. But I just, I'll keep saying it, but it was the only ending that suited the rest of the movie. So, hey, if you're going to fucking torture me, finish the job at the end. Don't torture me and then give me some chocolates and say thanks for coming.
I can see why it was a cinematic release. They did the open-ended one. It's like, oh, that was dark, but you know what? I hope they get married when they walk and catch up with each other.
I googled it when I was looking at the 4 alternative endings, and it does say that the ending with the womb and the umbilical cord, that was the proper ending. So that was it's the director's cut. So it's the ending the director wanted. They showed that to what do they call them?
The test audiences.
Test audience.
Yeah.
And the test audience went, "Whoa, man, that's like we just sat through a lot."
Yeah,
but that's really another
the
level.
bit where you could actually see him pulling on the umbilical cord.
Yeah.
He's not trying to choke himself out.
Just for a second,
go to sleep. He just got
the doctor is looking at the screen. He's like, "Wait, is that deliberately?"
Yes.
Yeah.
And that kid is yanking on that cord.
So I'd also like to point out, even though he fixed a lot of things, he actually fucked that doctor right up.
Oh yeah, that
Butterfly Effect 2.
Doctor
sequel.
There's a sequel.
No, we're not talking about the sequel.
Thank God.
We're not talking about the sequel.
I was just going to touch on the sequel
Go on.
because I haven't seen.
Oddly
enough, I didn't put myself through them.
Yeah.
Is it dark? Is it a bit happier?
Well, yeah. Is it related to the same storyline?
Yeah.
It's got that doctor in it. He's not very good at what he does.
It continues on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you get closure on the street meeting? The meet cute?
They get a little bit more horror.
Okay. I can deal with horror.
Yeah. So they go a bit more horror.
Right,
Maybe I'll watch it.
Right. So
don't.
I'm not going to do that.
They're not good.
I'm silly of me.
I found it pretty horrific, but more.
Yeah, but it's not a horror.
Jump scare, gory horror. Less just like we're just going to keep exposing you to triggers.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, less like that and more. Yeah.
Because this was like they had a list of triggers and they were just checking them off. They were like, "What have we got left?"
Yeah, but
they
ticked. It was enticing you.
I was like, surely things are going to get. Well, no.
What?
There's a long list.
Yeah. So yeah, okay. I'm can confidently say I'm going to avoid the sequels also.
Yeah, please do.
I'll give it a miss.
I would think that the best thing about the alternative ending number 4, the one that you're referring to, was number 4, I believe.
Yep.
I did like that. It's the most clever way of tying into early. You can see why it makes sense when it's tied into the earlier plot points of the movie, the way the mum talks.
Yep.
And it makes sense. It does tie in some little things that
the
seem like
psychic scene.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they seem like little throwaway points earlier in the movie if they don't have the context of that ending.
Yeah. So tell me this: in the version you watched, is the psychic scene still in there? So yeah.
Yeah.
What psychic scene?
Him and his mum go to the psychic.
Oh, yes.
And the psychic says you were never meant to exist.
Yes.
That's still in there.
Yeah.
So if it didn't have this ending, I'm surprised they left that scene in.
Who cares?
There's
a lot.
Like, why would you leave that ending in unless you were going to the end with the womb?
Yeah,
the womb ending. Is that what we call it?
Yeah, he really went back in time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it didn't. You're right though. It was, but
it would have felt a bit weird watching.
I was curled up in a ball crying by that stage. Anyway,
you could have done anything at that point.
I was just glad it didn't involve a dog in a bag.
Yeah. So that was the alternative endings. If you haven't seen those, go and give them a YouTube. There's a YouTube video that shows all 4.
Yep.
So now, what do we got? We got the director, which we haven't spoken about at all because he hasn't done a lot, or they haven't done a lot. So there's 2 of them,
right?
Eric Bress and Jay Mackay Gruber. They're basically like a duo, from what I understand. So they write and work together.
Like Hall & Oates.
Yeah.
Right.
Bress and Gruber.
Bress and Gruber, but they don't do yacht rock. They do mildly disturbing, but quite successful movies.
It's funny.
Yeah.
The only other movie or the only other big movie that they've really done
Can't wait.
together, it's Final Destination.
Love
Have we
Final
checked in on these guys?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Love
I'm also a big fan of
love
particularly
Final
the first
Destination.
one.
Yeah, but are they okay?
So yeah, they did Final Destination. The only other thing they've done, which I actually watched, and I don't watch a lot of supernatural horror, but with Ghosts of War from last year. Did you watch this?
No.
Ghosts of War.
Yeah, it was a bunch of
With the war guys stuck in like a castle.
Yeah,
and really creepy.
Yeah, basically.
Haven't watched it.
Oh, yeah, check it out. It's really stylish. And
which platform can we find that on, Kenny?
Netflix.
Netflix?
It is on Netflix, I think.
Yeah, it's got the guy from Sons of Anarchy.
You'll recognise a few of the cast.
Okay.
It's not big budget, but it's not low budget either.
Okay.
And it's quite stylish. And as I said, I don't really do supernatural horror, but I got it recommended to me. Give it a look, and it's good. Like it's a quality movie.
What's it
even
called
if it's
again?
Not my genre.
For the kids
Ghosts
out
of
there?
War.
Available on the Netflix.
So that's really all they've done.
Right.
Bress and Grubes.
Bress and Grubes.
Yeah, they've done the Butterfly Effect.
Yeah.
Final Destination 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then
What
Ghosts
have
of
they
War.
done for me lately?
Nothing.
Okay, fair.
Well,
Right.
Ghosts of War last year. Did you call that lately? So, any thoughts?
On
those
Groups?
movies, the collection of films? Like what?
I don't do horror. I'm not. My life is terrifying. I tend not to think. Oh, cool! I've got a bit of spare time. I'm going to watch something scary.
Any horror or just?
Like,
would you watch a slasher horror?
No, no. Not often.
Would you watch a Don't Breathe? Green Room? Would you call Green Room a horror? Like those sort of claustrophobic, hyper-violent?
I don't think Green Room's a horror. It's more of a really fucked up thriller.
Like a horror?
Yeah. Yeah. As I said it, I realised, oh shit, that's what a horror is.
So
they're kind of their own genre horror.
the last thing I watched that probably qualifies as horror adjacent, I guess, that I really enjoyed was Get Out.
Yeah, I'd call that a horror.
That's a psychological.
Antebellum? Did you watch
Psychological.
Antebellum?
No, I haven't seen
I didn't
that.
like
No.
Antebellum.
But that same sort of, not supernatural, not slasher,
Just
but still a horror.
Yeah, that sort of thing, and storyline driven, and I have to feel some sort of empathy for the protagonists of the movie. Part of my problem is a lot of the more basic horror movies. You're like, oh, the cheerleader's going to wander into the pine forest and get slashed to death. I'm like,
oh, those kind of
she's a
teen
fucking
slasher.
idiot, and she deserves what she gets. You know what I mean? I'm like,
She's a fucking idiot.
I go wander off into the bush on your own. You know, they do something stupid and they just wander blindly into death. And
They're always very clumsy.
Yeah, I'm like, goodbye.
God, look down when you run. I'm sick of them tripping. I've tripped on a rock and sprained my ankle.
So
again.
I need something that makes me feel some sort of sympathy and empathy for the main characters, and then
Fair enough.
and then actually care about whether they're brutally murdered or not. But
So like a Green Room? Have you seen Green Room?
no, I haven't. No,
Oh, shit.
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this podcast is going to be a lot of you guys asking me whether I've seen movies and me saying no.
Why are you here again?
I've seen Green Room. And
You told me you love movies. You've seen 8.
I just don't have a lot of spare time, guys. I'm very busy making model airplanes.
So many.
The cast, Ashton Kutcher, we touched on him earlier.
Yeah.
He's got 21 film credits.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually quite hilarious and probably leans into Duff's point that he's not great.
He's not great.
19 of his 21 films are below 50 Metacritic.
Oh, that's a record.
However, I don't
he's
think
above.
He's above. He appears as himself in 2 movies over the last couple of years, which I haven't seen. I assume they're not
Punk'd.
movies. They might be
Punk
documentaries.
season 1
Are we
and
counting
Punk
the ones
season
where he
2.
plays Steve Jobs as himself, or is that's his real character piece?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
Steve Jobs.
Steve
I've
Jobs.
not watched that because
He just put on a skivvy and then talked a lot. Okay, so
it
you're
was
sorry.
The King and The Man Who Saved the World. I don't know what either of those are.
Nah.
I know movies with similar titles to that.
So can we just? I just want to roll it back. You're saying he's done 21
He's
movies.
done 21 movies he's got credits for.
And 19
are below 50 Metacritic.
I think I would be very surprised. I know we're only 2 episodes in, so it's
Yeah.
calling it a world record is probably overselling it a bit.
No,
We're
go
2
for
of
it. I don't
600.
think it's
Yeah.
worse.
But that's bad.
He's not good.
Yeah, that's either a bad choice in films he's
No,
made,
no.
or
He's not good.
or he's ruining the movies that he's in.
Yeah.
like
It's got to be a little
Which
column
one
A,
is
little
it?
column B at this
Yeah,
point, right?
I
Like,
think so.
He's not. Let's put it this way: he's not redeeming the movies he's in.
He's definitely not. Or maybe the critics just hate him.
Yeah.
Because he is smirky and smuggy, and he's the
Smirky and smuggy.
It's like I was with young Brad Pitt.
Yeah. So that was him. Amy Smart, she has 20 film credits, which that actually surprised me.
Crank.
I actually thought she was going to have 40 maybe. You know, one of those ones where you can't really name many films they're in, but it's Amy Smart.
Road
Everyone
Trip,
knows who
Crank.
Amy Smart is.
I can name a lot of
Crank,
Amy Smart.
yeah.
Yeah, well, Crank's her highest scoring film.
You bet your ass it is.
With a 57.
I'm on
Ouch.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's
her
literally-
highest.
That's
That's
literally
good. That's
her
not bad.
highest film. She was in Varsity Blues as well, which I thought might have scored better than that.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I love Varsity Blues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
critics just hate those sort of movies, generally speaking.
Yeah, right.
And I mean, the critics are, generally speaking, a
Yep.
40-year-old guy.
Yep.
And then they're watching teen movies and
Yeah.
giving them a shit review.
Yeah.
It's like,
And they were bullied at school, and they're like, I don't like it.
yeah, we're generalizing a lot.
We are.
Yeah, that's okay. So yeah, Starsky and Hutch. She was in Just Friends.
Yes.
Was that with Ashton Kutcher as well?
That is with Ashton Kutcher, yes.
Yeah.
She wasn't the main one.
Yes. Who was the main?
Mandy Moore, maybe, I'm thinking?
Oh, yeah, was it?
Someone along those lines.
I remember it.
Right.
Like a brunette.
Yeah, I get it mixed up with Friends with Benefits though.
Yes.
With Justin
Which is
Timberlake
and Mila Kunis.
Mila
And
Kunis.
because he's
Mila
married
Kunis.
to Mila Kunis, I always
Yeah.
get Kunis.
Yeah.
Kunis. I always get those two movies
Kutcher.
confused. You can see the degrees of separation there.
Yeah. That's actually not a bad movie.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Friends with Benefits, you mean?
yeah.
That's
okay.
quite good. Yeah, good little rom-com. I
Yeah,
like
mate.
JT.
Yeah, he's
I
all right.
like him in
Yeah, I
movies,
mean,
yeah.
I watched mostly Mila Kunis in that movie, but whatever.
So yeah, Eric Stoltz was probably the only other guy
Fuck
that
Eric
people.
Stoltz.
Pulp
Yeah.
Fiction.
I was going to say he's
No.
the only other one that people know.
He was in a visual masterpiece, a masterpiece.
Pulp Fiction?
And he slept the whole fucking movie. When he's in Anaconda and he gets poisoned in the first 15 minutes and wakes up in the last 2 minutes, I went, where the fuck have you been? Did he have to go on holiday or something? It's like,
So, hang on.
Yeah, I'll sign up for the movie, but I can't be available for the first 18 weeks.
You started talking about a visual masterpiece, and then
Anaconda, yes.
The same thing. Which
The snakes out there this big. If you have not seen John Voight in Anaconda, spine tingling.
I cannot wait to do the Anaconda episode.
Oh,
of
man.
this. You can sit that one out if you want, BJ.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Is which rapper's in that? Is it LL Cool J? Or
No, that's Ice Cube.
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube.
So his highest rating film was, surely you know it, Eric
Eric
Stoltz.
Stoltz. It's gotta be Pulp Fiction.
It's Pulp Fiction, baby.
Yes.
That is like a 97 or something crazy like that.
He wore a robe. He wore the shit out of that robe.
Yeah, he was good in that.
Yeah.
He was
So
good in
also the best movie of all time.
Fun fact about Back to the Future.
Your favourite movie of all time? Or just the best movie of all time?
Objectively the best movie of all
Okay.
time. Yes.
Back
There's
to
a
the
difference.
Future, he was as Marty. He
What?
filmed half the movie as
that's
Marty.
right.
And they went, this guy's playing this role too
They hated him.
serious.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know
they
that.
recasted him, reshot all these scenes with
So what
the
you're
legend
saying?
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Eric Stoltz was hired. He was making the movie.
Yeah.
He did about nearly 60%, I think.
Yeah.
My facts are never right, so
Yeah.
that might be wrong.
Percentage isn't correct, but the rest is right.
And yeah, he got recast for Michael J. Fox because he was playing the character as like really gritty and.
Oh, wait. I might like that version of Back to the Future.
Yeah, you would.
If you want to watch 60% of Back
Can
to
we
the
make
Future,
this fun, Stoltz? I am.
Are you saying it's a darker, grittier Back to the Future?
No, he just wore a leather jacket. It's the same movie. It's Stoltz in a leather jacket.
definitely the right call.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Definitely the right call. I mean,
J. Fox is a legend.
I
Love it.
nailed it. Smashed it.
So yeah, he was also in obviously Anaconda.
Yeah.
What else was he in? Rob Roy.
Yeah, who cares?
He was in Kicking and Screaming, like the 90s version,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the Will Ferrell one.
Oh,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
interested.
So he's in a lot of good movies. He actually, I think this was his lowest score. Well, yeah, it was because
Yeah.
it's at 30.
Yeah.
And then I think it was a big jump to sort of 50 after that, and then everything else is way above there. So he's made really good decisions.
How does someone
But-
make such good calls while someone else is getting 19 or 21?
Yeah, but you'd also go, he's never been really the main guy in
He's
anything.
never carrying a movie.
Well,
Yeah.
he tried, and they sacked him 60%.
I think that says a lot of his
Just
career.
don't wear the
Speaking of
jacket.
childhood trauma.
Just don't wear the jacket, Eric. No, I'm not doing that.
Right.
So yeah, a couple of other notable cast members. Eldon Henson, he's plays Lenny, older Lenny.
Yep.
Mighty
He's
Ducks.
at Mighty Ducks.
Yep.
He had a good run. He was quite popular for my age group in the sort of late
I was there.
90s, I want to say.
Yeah, Mighty Ducks.
She's All That,
the
Idle
Mighty.
Hands. What else was he in? Hunger
Mighty?
Games 1 and 2.
Yeah.
He was in Deja Vu.
Right.
We got
right.
shout out on the
Yeah, yeah.
Daredevil.
Yeah.
Foggy.
Yeah, didn't
Foggy
like
and
Daredevil.
Right. He's had quite the career.
Yeah.
So
he's done well for himself, considering he's not a.
He's not fun to look at.
He looks like he's made out of putty.
And
he had to put on weight for
Ken
the
hates
show,
the chunk
for the movie.
Yeah,
and then 30 pounds, and they had to film fat scenes first.
I thought it was they filmed the skinny scenes first, and then they did the.
You're probably right. You're the facts guy, so I'll back you in.
Probably easier to put on weight than lose it.
Yeah.
Am I right?
It's a struggle, but we get there, guys.
And the other notable mention was friend of the pod, Ethan.
Yeah,
I love him. Suppley or Supley?
Oh, whatever you like.
He looks good these days. Have you seen him these days?
Yeah, man.
Is he jacked again?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but he does this.
He was the biggest I've ever seen Ethan in the Butterfly.
Oh, wasn't he?
Oh,
yeah. I forget him. I forget he was ever that big.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't that big in My Name Is Earl.
No.
He was pretty big in American History X. He was pretty big.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but not like this.
No,
though.
this is big. I don't know.
He was also big on the screen as well.
Yeah, he had a presence about him. I feel. Fuck off, frat boy.
Yeah,
that scared me.
If we're going to do an MVP for the movie, you'd call it him.
I 100% agree. Also, probably the character I relate the most to. He went to the pub. He looked a little different. Everyone picked on him, and he got really angry and shouted at him. That's pretty much my teenage years, right?
You want to talk about that now? Do you want to write that in your journal and travel back and change things?
One major difference.
Get a different haircut.
He was getting laid. Right. I wasn't. Anyway, they did a good job. So I'm a bit of a discerning eye for the. I hate it when there's going to be a punk or a goth or an alternative kid in it, because I'm like, straight away they're going to put on Matchbox 20 or something and try and convince me that.
Oh, they stereotype the shit out of him. Yeah, but they don't nail it.
And they walked the line here. They did okay. Like,
I don't think they.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, you knew he was, but they didn't have to.
They went.
I'm the guy who's looking at the posters in the background, going, "Oh, this guy wouldn't listen to those bands."
Oh, it's a goth character.
Yeah, They did all right. It was mostly the Cramps and shit, so they did okay.
That was cool.
Yeah, I was like, I'm buying it. Yeah, he was a good egg. He was just a good bloke.
The hair was maybe slightly over the top.
Oh, it was always different,
just
though.
added to his size, as in his physical presence on the screen.
I just, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like, just imagine getting up every day and having to do that.
He's not doing much else. He's doing his hair.
He's doing a lot of the sex.
Yeah. He's smoking bongs and he's going to shoot some pool.
Yeah,
that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
So he's got the time. He's not going to class.
He's
never in
class.
class.
This is true. That's a fair point.
I got some fun facts.
I love fun facts.
Ooh, trivia.
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah, do it.
All right. So this is actually my favorite fun fact. I love shit like this in movies. So all the prison scenes, which we don't want to discuss in too much depth or detail, but all the prison scenes were actually filmed in a real prison, in Washington State Prison.
Yep.
And all the extras were all real prisoners from that prison.
Yeah.
Wow.
So how the fuck they pulled that off?
Yeah.
Like,
Did you
Metallica
see-
can do it.
Did you see the size of Kevin Durland? No one is going near that.
Yeah. I don't know who.
Kevin, walking tall, his cellmate.
The friendly
Yeah,
essay.
man.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Ooh,
right.
he's a big boy in that.
But, like, if you were just kicking around in prison doing a stint and they said, we want to film a movie here and you just have to hang out in the background, you'd be stoked.
Oh, you're doing it. That's passing time for sure.
because all you're doing otherwise is playing dominoes, as I understand it.
Yeah. But I think like the only other people that have ever been able to film in a prison is Johnny Cash and Metallica. and then Ashton Kutcher rocks up one day, knocking on the door.
And they're like, as long as you don't play fucking Saint Anger, you can do whatever you want.
They probably thought it was punked. Hey, Ashton, you can come in, but don't do that punk shit, man. These guys won't like that.
We'll shiv the shit out of
you. So I thought that was a cool fun fact.
Yeah,
the fact that they
a
went
fun
into a
fact.
prison. It actually felt quite authentic in there. Yeah, I like that. To me, that was the most horrifying parts of the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
His shit mum can't even bring bloody notebooks in there.
Yeah.
Oh, you just sort it out, Mum. Oh, they're in the attic.
Just concentrate in your case.
Yeah.
Bitch, I can go back in time and get out of here. Just tell her the truth.
Mum asked you for one thing.
Yeah.
But I've got a cake with a file in it. That's no.
It's not helping me with this situation. Very good. Ashton Kutcher's character's name is a favourite of mine as well. His character's name is Evan Treborn.
Mm-hmm.
If you move the T from the start of Treborn and put it at the end of Evan, then you have Event Reborn.
Whoa, wait.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I like it when movies put shit like that in.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, because you're never going to pick that up watching it.
Yeah.
You're only going to pick that up Googling it afterwards.
So once again, this brings us back to the point that I made in episode 1 of this esteemed podcast, which is as a screenwriter, the names must be the most fun part.
Yeah, I guess.
Just mucking around with names and being like, "What? How can I mess with people a little bit?" And if anyone ever Googles this,
it's funny you say that because after I saw that, I was like, wait a minute. What other movies have like a first name or a character name that ties in with the theme of the movie? Couldn't find any. I'm sure there's a lot though.
It's not an easy search though, is it?
No, it wasn't.
Like, yeah.
Any more?
I just checked 10 movies and gave up.
Just pick 10 you thought might be a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a good one. As mentioned before, Josh Hartnett, Sean William Scott, and Joshua Jackson were all offered the role of Evan. The sequels suck, and it's a better world if we pretend they don't exist. That wasn't a fun fact. That's just something I put in there.
That's actually a tagline at the start of season 2.
It qualifies.
Yeah. So brings us to the redeeming. Did either of you guys change your opinions of the film, what you had prior to watching it?
My original take on the film, I would say 30 out of 100.
Yeah, wow.
And then, it would be 10 years since I watched it. Watched it again last night, very late at night.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I thought it was dark. It was really dark, the proper amount of dark.
Yeah.
And yeah, if I had to give it a score out of 100, it would be 30. No, I've redeemed it.
Where are you at?
6.5. 65 out of 100.
65 out of 100. That's a good score.
So you gave this nearly twice as much as you gave Domino.
Yeah, Domino's a steaming pile of shit, and this was okay.
You disgust me. I'm just going to need a minute to recover from that. Yeah, look, this is one of those movies that almost everybody I know knows that they've watched it.
But do they remember?
But yeah, and it's weird, like as you said, because there's so much in it that you're like when you're watching it, I was squirming for the first half an hour. I was like, come on.
I think you do block it out.
Yeah, man. I honestly have repressed this. Plus, as it may be a recurring theme, was probably really, really high when I watched it in 2004. So probably don't remember much. Once I got past the initial half an hour, I was like, where they were establishing just all the messed up things that he was going to have to go back and try and fix. I didn't mind it. I thought Ashton Kutcher was much better than I thought he was going to be.
Yeah,
actually, I find him pretty charismatic on screen. Like I think he was pretty good. He was definitely the best performance for me in the movie because Amy Smart was anyway.
I thought we just agreed that Ethan Suplee was the best performance.
Even in the kids. I thought the kids were great in it as well.
I take it back. Sorry, I forgot. Can we go back in time?
Ready?
Write it in the journal.
I'm reading
You're right. MVP. Yeah.
But you liked him. You thought he did a good job.
I thought he was good. Yeah. I thought his bangs were amazing.
So you wouldn't say this film would be far better without him and someone else? Just anyone else? Not necessarily Josh Hartnett.
He paid for it.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't exist without him, frankly.
Yeah. No. But,
no, I know what you mean. So, he was better than I anticipated. The movie, as I said, first half hour I didn't enjoy.
Yep.
I was like, what the fuck is Ken done to me?
Torture.
I was like, I'm being punked. I was expecting Ken to pop out and go, we're really going to watch Back to the Future. From that point on, I didn't mind it. However, I do have a personal issue with those types of movies where it's just someone keeps fucking up all the time, and they're clearly they're going to, and you have to watch them do it again and again and again.
And every situation gets worse and worse.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, until obviously he understands that sacrifice is the key to happiness, right?
That's it right there.
Yeah. But it was actually relatively well put together. Like I thought
it was paced well.
Yeah, it was paced. It was slick. Like the effects and whatnot, I believed okay. It moved at a reasonable pace. I reckon I would probably give it 5.5.
Shit, that's redeeming it.
I'm going to redeem it.
Anything above 50 is redeeming it.
I think it deserves it. It's not a terrible movie in the way it's put together.
Yeah.
Thematically, I've got a few issues.
Yeah.
Plot-wise, I've got a few issues, but I can't say it's a bad movie as such. So I'm going to tick it just over the redeemable metric and give it 5.5.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'll take that personally.
I'm never going to watch it again.
It's funny. I probably won't either. Yeah, this was
I'll watch it in 10 years.
Yeah, I watched it a lot, as I said before, when I was younger. And I don't know what, maybe I was just in a bad place. Apparently.
When I was young,
Like all the critics
this
that
was a
watched
really fun movie when I was
Terrible life he was having.
I just like to punish myself as a young man, and I watched it a lot, and I love the movie. I think it's great. When I watched it again over this last couple of weeks as a 36-year-old, and maybe not as dark as what I once was, I wasn't as... I used to be entertained by this. I wasn't entertained anymore.
Entertained isn't what I would choose. Do you think that like when you were younger, when you watched it, you're more accepting of the metaphysical type of or the actual? Were you intrigued more by the concept, or were you just watching it?
When you're young, you think,
you become more cynical
awesome.
now. Like you're more none of you like
start reading a lot more books, trying to go back.
Yeah, the other thing with this is it's the movies you watch the most are kind of action movies because they're easy to watch, right?
Yeah.
You could almost put this as an action movie.
I did after the first half hour. That's pretty much what I did.
Because there's always something happening.
Yep.
It never stops.
Yeah.
There's not like a big half an hour in the middle where it's going to delve into anything too deep. It's just non-stop from start to finish. It just flows. And every scene is a big scene and there's shit happening in it.
Yeah.
So that's why I probably watched it a lot. Rewatching it now, I kind of go, I'm still going to give it 70.
That's fair.
Yeah, because I still really liked it. I loved the simplicity of the time travel.
Yeah.
Whereas everything we get now is complicated time travel.
Yeah.
I loved the characters, the transformations from one reality to another. I thought the main cast were all just exceptional. Visually, I really enjoyed it. There's a lot of different set locations, which kind of gave it that action movie feel that I was talking about. And as far as the overall darkness of it, well, sometimes I feel like being disturbed by a movie.
Shit gets dark.
It does get real dark, and I was disturbed. And if I'm going to choose to be disturbed by something, I fucking may as well go all in.
70 and walk away.
Yeah.
70, 55 from you?
55 from me on the scale.
65.
This is so far the high point that we've reached because Duff dragged us down last week. Let's be honest.
With Domino, yeah.
No, you chose a terrible movie. Well, you guys are going to hate my movie, by the way.
Which?
All right, Do I bring it up now?
Please.
Time.
Well,
Next episode.
Last pod, Ked said he won't do animated. So I've decided to do Smurfs 2. Why are you laughing?
That was where the pod ended.
I'm going to do a Battle Los Angeles.
Aaron Eckhart. Okay. All right.
Prize movie.
That's good. I don't know how I feel about Battle LA.
You're going to find out today.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
What year is that from? Yeah.
I haven't done any research on it, can I?
No, I haven't watched it since it came out. I feel like it must have been
I browsed
7 or 8
at my
years ago.
Blu-ray collection and went,
got it in the attic, Ken?
14?
Got it in the attic, bro.
Don't know.
Yeah.
I'll have a dig. If you enjoyed this, you can follow us on Instagram, which is _Redeemables_podcast, and on Facebook, just search Redeemables Podcast.
Give us a like.
Give us a like.
We like to be liked.
Okay. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Well, if there was a dislike button, I'd be sad.
Cool. Thanks for listening to The Redeemables.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.